You are all a bit pissed about Jackmate saying he doesn't like the Eboys. He does. He loves what all.
He does.
He watches them
He's
all.
a big fan of the E-Boys.
Loves it. Loves the Eboys.
He loves our videos.
Yeah.
See, in a way, naff is a compliment.
Yeah.
Naturally arty and fucking funny.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it, mate.
Yeah.
That's what Jack meant. I mean,
Yeah.
I suppose how do we answer that one? I mean, when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, Jack, please don't say that." But I was like, "He can say what he wants, really."
I wouldn't be pissed at it because it's like I totally get it, right? If he doesn't like them, he doesn't like them. It's like it'd be like if your mate back home was like a fucking welder, right? And you go home and you're in the pub and someone's like, "Oh, dear mate, I really liked your welding," right? And then I don't know where this is going. Hang on. And then you were like, "Oh yeah, it wasn't for me. Yeah, it was all right, but it wasn't for me." He'd be like, "Well, fuck you."
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you
know what I mean?
why'd you say that?
Yeah, what was
You go, "We're
there wasn't
mates."
need.
People up north are really different. I've never met a welder in my life.
That was the worst analogy ever.
When I go home and see all me welding mates,
When I go back to home and see my mates who have been down the mines.
So when I go back to my friends who see blacksmiths,
Sorry, I've completely butchered that.
when I go back to the armory, and I get handed a new breastplate, and my friend goes, "Oh, this isn't your highest quality breastplate you've produced so far." I go, "Oh, god damn you, my breastplate is great quality," and I've been working so hard on it.
blast you.
Alex has nailed that for me there. Alex bro. Yeah, do you know what I mean? You'd be like, "Oh, okay, fair enough," but cool.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
it's,
no.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's easy to see it as like, "Oh, it's a YouTube video and it's a YouTube question," but I don't ever look at anything YouTube related as, "Oh, that's great for content." I always look at it as, "Oh, my mate said he didn't like the thing I just made," and then I get sad.
For someone like me who spent the last 2 years making commentary videos critiquing others, I actually think him critiquing us was a bit unnecessary. So
I just really say hypocritical though, because that's the thing I always allow.
We can't take criticism. We can only give it.
yeah, that's the point.
Well, that is the commentary mantra.
We are the top of the YouTube world.
Yes, we only punch down.
We're not great at taking criticism, are we? For people who chat shit. Has anyone else got any fresh?
I'm
That's gonna
scrolling
say that?
through now. It's mainly just you guys suck each other's toes and stuff.
Yeah, it's weird that, isn't it?
I like this because I question George and Alex here. You have seen each other naked. Have you ever like?
Yeah, have you?
No.
No.
Do you want to see us naked?
Oh no, Alex was a very delayed response
Yeah.
there. I feel like maybe there's something going on there.
Delayed and a little bit guilty.
No, I was reading.
No, I haven't seen that. So.
No, I haven't seen George naked. He's only ever wearing the mask.
You've thought about adding someone else to the E-Boys.
Not
I
fun.
genuinely know.
No.
No.
It's interesting because when I was very much outside of YouTube groups and not involved in one, and I always saw this question go to the sidemen, I always thought to myself, oh, well, why not include one of them? You know what I mean? Whereas now, being in a group, it's like, no, why would it be any different?
We have to dilute our shares? No.
I already hate 3 people. I don't need to hate 4.
Yeah, you're not wrong as well, to
horrible.
be fair. Like, also, like, there would be so much on that. Imagine being the last person added into an already 4-man group channel.
Mm.
Like, that sounds terrifying. I wouldn't want that. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds horrible.
Mm.
Will is actually really problematic behind camera.
Who?
Yeah, true.
So Will is actually really problematic.
I'm the fucking sweetest one.
He says gamer words all the time off camera.
Game Awards.
What's a gamer word?
Huh?
Don't ask
what do you
him.
think
Don't
it
ask
is?
him.
Don't,
Don't ask
don't.
him. Don't ask him.
Oh,
what
right,
game
like
word is.
slurs and shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gamer word, for fuck's sake.
Their words reserved for Call of Duty lobbies only.
Who? Right.
Alex sleeps with socks on.
No, I hate that. I can't do it.
Like fucking Dobby. We'll cherish them.
If we give you a sock, will you leave the E-Boys?
Dobby is free. Master gave Dobby a sock.
Oh my god.
Fucking hell.
You were all starting to become irrelevant, so you made a group channel.
No. No.
I mean, I think that it just makes sense, doesn't it, to make one? Really? Like, the reason it actually started, funnily enough, is because we were just really, really, really bored.
And I made a banger.
Yeah, genuinely. If that video hadn't done well as it did, and like we weren't as bored as we were, there's no way it's happening. This channel doesn't exist if it wasn't for lockdown.
Fucking Nick Ricardo's bumhole. That's what it doesn't exist for.
Yeah, and lockdown. I think.
Yeah.
I think what happened was.
Those are the two infinity stones of the E-Boys. A virus and Nick Ricardo Avocado's asshole.
Because we had all those meetings, obviously, and then we didn't see each other for fucking ages and ages and ages. Like,
What do you mean? The meetings were well before coronavirus.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We didn't speak about anything like from that point onwards. I think I remember even saying.
Well, you mean we had the meetings and then left it instead of we didn't just not see each other.
I hadn't spoken to James in about I think it was over 90 days at that point, just because we hadn't.
You're just prepping for a good 90 days.
And then we did that video, and it was kind of like the first time we'd all, even just in a voice call, been together for, and then we were like, oh yeah, this seems fun. We should probably do this more.
And then we started playing a lot of pro clubs, which really helped the dynamic as well, because we were like, oh, we're fucking funny.
Yeah, might as well, because we were finding 5 hours a day to play clubs.
Yeah.
And we were
Don't
like,
say that, man.
We've got to like, we're so busy.
We've got to put up the illusion we actually fucking do something.
I think you do though for your own. I think the reason I don't have a problem with it because I know that the moment where I realise I'm actually not doing anything is actually the moment I stop doing anything I was doing anyway. It's very strange. It's almost like I need to pretend that I'm working to be able to work because I can trick myself into feeling constantly productive. Whereas if I know that I'm not being productive, it stops me from doing literally anything at all. It's very weird.
Oh, that sounds shit.
I've got one.
Oh yeah.
Will was really popular and sporty in school.
Bro, no. Sorry, I don't have to say that like it's fucking either least sporty kid or fucking popular.
I feel like you were probably out of the four of us. Well, actually, I don't know. I feel like I definitely was not popular, especially not before sixth form. Like sixth form, I kind of found my place in like a little in between group that I fucking love. Like,
was it the music room with Monster Energy?
No, like we were just kind of like no, we had our own little like gatherings and shit. It was like I was never invited. I was one of 3 people not invited to the year 11 party, like the big party at the end of year 11. I remember being one of the 3 people not invited.
Oh, that's
What?
so sad.
What? Fuck that. Fuck them people.
Well, no,
Now-
fuck the
now-
whole
I bet-
school.
What?
Yeah, fuck the whole school for that.
The
That's
whole
horrible.
school.
Wait, so you didn't get invited to someone's house party or like a prom or something? I don't get.
It was a big house party after prom.
Fuck those guys, man. You'd be first on their list if it was now. Fuck them.
Well, that's the thing. But I was really,
Bet none of them are Are you verified?
really socially awkward. And in sixth form, I kind of like taught myself how to socialize. Like that was something I was like, I hated that I just like was a complete outcast. And then I taught myself how to socialize as a kind of like, fuck you, you know?
Yeah.
I can speak now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like people won't take the initiative to go and weirdly, like if you could take somewhat of the initiative, then you probably would get invited to half that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was definitely not like popular, but the only 5 people I talked to were the popular kids. So like I was the least popular out of my 6 mates. And because of that, I managed to get in everywhere because of them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if there was a house party...
It's a bit like now, really, isn't it?
I'd be invited, but I would never speak to anybody. Well, I never used to talk.
I remember the first party I went to was in year 12, and it was with this guy called... he was referred to as Sammy G, right? And we always had this idea that he was just constantly high. He just gave off the impression that he was just huge stoner, constantly high. I found out like a year and a half into being friends with him that he'd never smoked weed in his life. And my entire time spent with him, I was just like, oh, he's literally just gone off to smoke and now he's come back really high. Everyone always believed this. First party I went to, he invited me. I knew no one else. He didn't invite anyone else, just me plus one. I just moved to the area, which was like hours away from where I lived before. I'd barely drank any alcohol in my life, bear in mind year 12, right? So after GCSEs. And he was drinking Jack Daniels straight, and we bought it, we went halves on it together, and he was like, oh, drink this, it's good. And I was like, oh, Jack Daniels looks cool. Tastes of shit. Yeah. So I barely drank anything. So I'd only known this guy for a couple weeks at the time. He goes in, and he sits down on a sofa, and there's these 2 twins with him, and he's got his arms over 2 twins. And I'm just like... in my head, I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like this guy is like, I remember looking at him and going like, he's so confident. He's literally like fucking
He owns the place.
arms around 2 people in front of like a whole group of people, and then he just vomited all over himself. And I had to look after him the whole night.
Oh, fucking hell.
So imagine the view I had of him, of like this guy who was just like, yeah, let's have some whiskey. Yeah, let's go to this house party. You can be my +1. Fucking sat on the sofa looking all cool. Vomits over these 2 twins and then
shattered.
lies down, and I have to look after him for the whole night. I slept on the stairs.
Makes you look like the cool one though. There.
Hardly. I don't think anyone even noticed I was there.
Oh, it's his carer.
Just a big like fucking 6'4" my neighbor Totoro just fucking standing in the corner of the room.
Yeah, just standing there in the corner of the room. Yeah, bloody hell. Yeah, I don't think any of us were like fucking wildly popular.
I was far from it.
I just kind of went unnoticed most of the time, I'm pretty sure.
Just the mask sauntering
It's
through.
because you're under the sort of line of sight, you know.
Shut up, alright.
Did any of you
Under
guys
the
play
line of
any
sight. That's a
the
violation. That's a
school
violation.
sports teams?
What'd you say?
Were any of you in the school sports teams?
Fuck that, no.
No, I was too shit.
In about first school, and then fucking everyone outgrew us.
They wanted me to play rugby, but I used to play rugby a lot as a kid, and I used to cry a lot. And one of the big rugby guys, he laughed at me on the first day of secondary school because he was like, "Oh, you're that kid who cries when he plays rugby," and I was like, "Yep, that's me." Right. So
Bloody hell, that's horrific.
What was it about the rugby that you didn't like?
Fingering each other.
The pissing in the mouth?
I've been an overthinker my entire life, and I remember I stopped going to rugby because of a training exercise that they used to do where you'd stand in a circle and you'd pass the ball to your right, and you'd have to pass the ball around the circle quicker than someone could run around the circle. And that for some reason, my mind just disagreed with that training exercise so much that I quit.
I like that. She's stubborn bastard.
I hated it. I'd go to bed at night anxious about that training.
I can tell you why. I hated that one too because people.
Hang on. You were on the school's rugby team.
Me, yeah. I played the whole time.
Fuck. What?
I played rugby.
What
for
position
6
were you?
I played rugby
Were you
for
a
6
winger?
years. I was a winger and a
Bottom.
scrum half.
Yeah.
Bottom.
Oh, fuck's.
Just in the changing room, looking pretty.
I didn't even play. I was fucking stand up. I was sitting there and wait for everyone to come back in.
Oh, you just stand by the door. Everyone slaps your ass on the way in.
Ruck over. Oh man, yeah, no, I played for ages. That training exercise haunted me as well because
Yeah, awful.
we had an A team and a B team back when I played, and obviously when I say I played, I liked it and I really enjoyed it, but I was in the B team because I'd started 5 years later than everybody else because my friends played for the rugby team, and like I was like fit enough to play, but not like skilled. I had no skill. I just could run. So I played in the rugby team, and that training exercise you described, I used to watch some people play, and when the new guys would turn up, and the A team would just on purposely pass it as fast, because obviously they've all got great ball handling, you know what I mean? But they just be passing it around, and they would on purposely not even allow the person in the middle to even get close. And it was embarrassing. Like I remember, I used to refuse to do that one as well. Like if they did it, I'd walk out the circle halfway through because I'd be like, I'm not getting this ball. This is just like taking the piss out of me. I'm not doing it. You know, what's the point? I hated that.
I really didn't get along with someone I played rugby with as well. I had actual fights with him. I remember.
Yes, it's worse than football for stuff like that. Rugby used to really fucking piss me off. That's why I don't play.
It's all the sexual tension, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
So did you piss in his mouth this week? You're supposed to piss in mine.
We also had it. I played for a mixed rugby team, so it was boys and girls, which was not.
Was it contact?
Yes, it was contact.
Oh my God.
My school once got in trouble because they entered like a mixed fucking rugby tournament with all the schools in North Tyneside, and one of my mates' dads was the coach, and he just put all of the girls of the school I went to on one side and all the boys, and we just fucking battered the other fucking teams. It was like fucking brute kids just fucking battering little girls.
Oh,
Absolutely shocking. Has anyone got any fresh ones? I'm